with Jamilino Akokbeto, who is the DFS consultant for UNCDF based in Benin, who worked in this project. Sabine Mensa, our regional technical specialist. Wilfried Boko from Ecobank, who is the director of consumer banking, and as a technical service provider who provide technical assistant on this project, we have Joanne Jodo, who is a senior consultant from Amaranth. My first question would be for Jamelino. Can you tell us more about the objective of this project for UNCDF?
Okay, thank you, Barry. Before talking about the objective, let me get back to the context of the project. So, as you know, Benin came from Accra from 2015 to last year. The number of visitors come as well as the number of active users have been exponentially increased. And in this context, Ecobank is playing a key role in the banking industry as the one that is more focused on digital, especially with the launch of its mobile application. But the next step for Ecobank was to go beyond the mobile application and then to develop some alternative channel delivery. So the objective for us by supporting Ecobank was to see how we can help Ecobank increase its customer base. So when I say increase the customer base, it's about how Ecobank can create new customers, especially in bank population. The second objective of the project is to give a high level of customer experience through new innovative channels by enabling them to avoid long queues in the branches. And the last objective is more related to money, because at the end of the day, we want also to help Ecobank reduce operational costs and improve its profitability. So I can say we were focused on these three objectives in the project, and my colleague Joel will talk about how the project has been implemented, and we can make an assessment at the end of this webinar.
Thank you, Jamelino. So you said three objectives: new customers for Ecobank, improve the consumer experience, and of course profitability. Joel, can you tell us more about how you dealt with this project and the results you got? Joel is on mute. Joel? Joel, can you hear us?
He's mute. Yes, to unmute.
You are on mute, Joel. Joel? Okay, I see he's right. I'm hearing. Yes. Can you tell us more about the way you implemented this project and the results you get? Yes.
Okay, Jackie.
We can hear you. So maybe Jamelino, if you can just.
Okay. So we started this project from a research. We made a feasibility study to make sure that this project made sense, and also to identify the condition under which we can succeed in this project implementation. That was the first stage. And the second stage, we work on the strategy. So we designed a strategy to develop the alternative delivery channels. And Ecobank, we agreed on the marketing approach we developed to increase agents and also continue monitoring the network. And after that, we implemented the key deliverables. And for us, the first stage was to train commercial staff that will be involved in the project. So we training the commercial staff, and after training the commercial staff, we also worked, we developed a kind of prototyping to make sure that the solution, the agency banking solution is working very well, to make sure that commission are paid in real time also. And we went on the ground to make sure that customers are also understanding the sense of the project and are willing to, instead of going to the branches, performing the transaction, to go to the agent point of sales to perform the transaction. And we prepared the agent. So by preparing the agent, I'm saying that they have also been trained. We recruited them, so they are motivated about this project. And also we deploy. We deploy branding materials to make them visible, and then we started the project. So three things to be taken into account in the project implementation. The first is the recruitment and the deployment of Ecobank agents. That's the first thing we did. And the second thing is about the recruitment, the training, and the deployment of a dedicated sales force. It's very important. I will revert back on this point because it's one of the key lessons we learned from the project. Have a dedicated sales force that will be monitoring the agent network. And the final thing to say is about the definition of a customer action plan. It's very important. Even if this project is very focused on agent, it's important to know that at the end of the day, the thing that is very important is a transaction to be made by the customer, and we should be sure that the customer experience will be positive. So we work on this plan. That are the three key stages of the project implementation.
So you said recruitment of the agent, dedicated sales force training, and of course the action plan for the consumer. Joel, are you still online with us to talk about the results? Joel? All right, let's move on the results, please, Janine.
Okay, so the results are, so before talking about what we achieved, we know that Ecobank has around 400,000 customers, and one of our objective was to bring customers open express accounts. So at the end of the project, when we made an assessment, we had about 150,000 customers who were performing express transaction on a active basis. But we recruited around 800 agents, and among these 800 agents, there are about 400 that are performing transaction on an active basis. So we can, but when we compare, what I can say is we were closer to our objective in urban areas, but we can understand why, because I will get back on the lesson learned from the ground. And in the rural areas, it was more challenging for us to achieve our results.
Okay. Well, thank you, Jamilino, for sharing the results. I would like Wilfried from Ecobank to tell us about the challenge they faced during this project implementation. Wilfried, you can just activate your microphone.
Okay. Good afternoon, all. Thank you for the time. As Jamilino mentioned, when we started the project, we were very, very ambitious. in Ecobank, because we had launched our mobile app a couple of months back, and it was doing well. Where the first year we quickly reached over 100,000 downloads, and we were able to reach 200 and 300 quickly. And so what we found was that our customers were not using the app the way we wanted them to. Because the reason why we launched the app was to drive customer outside our branches, and so that we can use the mobile app to do basic transactions. So to do that, if you close branches or you don't increase the number of branches, you have to be able to serve the customers using other channels. That's why we were happy to start the project with UNCDF. And quickly we find some challenges. I think the first challenges was, as I said, our ambition. We want to make it profitable straight away. So we set ourselves some very high target that put everybody on the pressure from onset. Secondly, we also have challenges in understanding what agency banking is all about for us as bankers. Whether we have to review our procedures, whether the legislation and the regulations are fine to allow us to enroll customers and to have deposits and do transactions with third parties. Because when you come back to the bank and we have compliance teams sitting, we have risk teams sitting, they can only see the compliance issues and also the risk issues, which were quite considerable, looking at what we wanted to achieve. So we were not equipped to ensure that there will be no risk, reputational risk, compliance risk, operational risk. And when we sign up an agent to start agency banking, we also find out that to enroll an agent, the documentation that we were asking for, sometimes it was difficult for those agents to provide this documentation. So that was also a challenge for us. Then we had challenges with marketing. The reason why I put this as a challenge is that it was a new activity for the bank, is a new product for customers, and it's a new way of doing banking for customers. So we had to communicate a lot, to explain a lot, but we also have to go on the ground and have a lot of actions with people and explaining what agency banking is all about. So in summary, those are the key challenges that we had as being is to align our ambitions, because the budget was set with the project. Then try to change everybody's mindset that if we are going digital, we also have to be able to serve customer on other channels rather than branches, and having enough money, I should say, to drive marketing activities. And I think we were not able to, at the beginning of the project, to overcome those challenges. The rest about training are usual challenges that you face when you launch a new project like such as this. But in the end, it was a good experience, and we learned a lot about it. I think I'll have the opportunity to talk more about that. Thank you.
Thank you, Wilfried. So you mentioned a few challenges you encountered during this project implementation. You talked about technical challenges, but also internal challenges, because it's a new activity for the bank. So what did you do to solve these challenges, let's say?
Well, yeah, the first one, as I said, our ambition, because the budget that we set for ourselves was very, very ambitious. So the first thing we did with Joel and Amaran team was to scale down, and they said we are going to do a pilot. We will have to reduce the size of the agents that we will use during the pilot. We will reduce our coverage, so we cover city, urban, and rural area. So we had that very quickly. We were able to overcome that challenge. So we had the objective set by the bank on one side, and we also have the objective that we agree that were achievable within the scope of the project. So we managed to do that. The technical issues, to be honest, it took us quite a while to solve them, because we find out from the beginning that there were technical issues that cannot be resolved at our level in affiliate. Because Ecobank structure, we have a technology center in Accra, and the technology center is the one behind the platform. So the technological issues have to be escalated to Accra, and we are not getting the feedback quick enough to solve the technical issues. One example of technical issues we had was we wanted to enroll agents with multiple touch points, but our platform were not able to use one hierarchy of a master or a super agent with his or its small branches. So if an agent had, let's say, 100 sales points, we'll have to create 100 points on the system. So it became quite heavy for us, and it was not also good for monitoring performances, capturing the transaction, and also giving them the commission, because at the end of the day, they made it clear that what we want in this business is how much we are going to earn, because from onset, they were comparing agency banking to what the telcos are doing. So they will all just compare what I'm earning with the telcos and what the system I'm using with the telcos. Is it the same? How can you align with that? And whether I'm going to earn more with you as a bank. So that's done. In terms of mindset with our colleagues, we have to do a lot of communication, internal communication. At ESCOM, I will present the figures and give feedback on the work done on the ground by the team, by Amaranth and my team. So slowly people were starting adopting it. We also make it mandatory for staff to use the service and to give us feedback so that we can improve on it. Those were, for marketing, again, it took us a while because we were able to demonstrate that each time we go on the ground with all the marketing materials and everything, we were able to get good intake. People were buying into the service and they understand that is good. We were able to improve the number of users. But when we just stop at the above the line product, having posters or doing classical advertisement, it was not taken. So for this year, my budget was increased significantly compared to what I had the year before, whilst we were rolling the project. So again, when we showed that it was possible to drive agency banking and it could, in the long run, be profitable for the bank, I started getting a bit of more attention and got my budget increased slightly. But one of the setbacks was still the fraud, where people will use those channels to commit frauds. And if you don't have a robust platform to be able to anticipate, to control and stop fraud, then everything that we earn in terms of commission or new customer using the service, then it just goes bad because we've lost so much money and our reputation on the line. And those areas we were not able to really overcome those challenges in terms of risk. Although we are working hard on it, but we were not able to. One of the solutions we found is to get someone on board who has the experience of managing agency banking, whether from telcos or from other organizations. because we believe that with someone with that kind of experience will help us anticipate the type of frauds issues that we encountered, so that we can prevent them from happening. Yeah, so that's what I can say.
Thank you very much, Wilfried, for sharing responses to the challenges. Looks like you even start sharing lessons learned. Joel, can you maybe, if you are online, tell us what we can learn from this project? Can you hear us, Joel? All right, Jamelino.
So let's now talk about lessons learned from this project. So this project allowed us to learn from the field. Some of the lessons are something we previously knew, and we did have some confirmation. Those are completely new. The first lesson I want to share is that today. Okay, so the first lesson I want to share is that one of the critical success keys is the quality of work done by the commercial staff on the ground. That is highly recommended to recruit. As you know, we were supposed to we went to the north of Benin also for this project, so it's highly recommended to recruit local team already based in the areas where points of service are deployed, because they speak local languages, they know the specificities of the region. The second lesson is the relationship between the bank and the agent. I think this, I believe that this relationship is very, very important. And money and trust can play a big role in this relationship. That is why the commissioning plan should be clear. The payment should be made in real time, and the bank can also support its agents in their business plan. Agents need to be taken care, and that will contribute to building a strong relationship that will, at the end of the day, I think, be profitable for the business. Another lesson we learned from the field is that in the context of low penetration rate of smartphone, in Benin, the smartphone penetration rate is low. So USSD is obviously the key channel to allow most of customers, especially low-income population, to access the alternative delivery channel. So we know how hard is the USSD access in an environment where the policy is not favorable for providers. So, but the good news is that, my colleague Wilfried can confirm, Ecobank has just partnered with Move for a pool service, and I think that will change the game, Wilfried.
Yes, of course.
Okay. Another point is on the promotion side. So promotion is also necessary to drive usage by vulnerable population, and this promotion could be based on the most used services like cash in and cash out. But it is so expensive with sometimes no quick return, So it is challenging for banks to invest like MNOs to invest in this type of marketing activities. If you want to promote via, I don't know, airtime bonus, for instance, is very, very expensive. But that is something that is really needed on the ground if we want to drive usage by population. To continue on the lesson learning, I would like also to draw your attention on the fact that agency banking is completely different from core bank activities. So when I say core bank activities, I'm referring to traditional bank activities. So that is why it is recommended to create integrated units with required resources. We need to in the organization to develop a business unit that will be dedicated to agency banking activities. it is also important for the business unit to work closely. It's very important. Even if it is a separate unit, they should work closely with the other department to, I can say, to achieve the common vision. The quality of agents is also very, very important, and especially for agency banking. That's why the quality of bank agents should take into account the capacity to avoid liquidity issues. Imagine when customers go to a point of services to withdraw money and the agent has not enough money to perform the transaction. The customer experience is then very bad. So it's very important to invest more, not in terms of the number of agents, but in terms of quality of agents. That's why we recommend to recruit only those who are already involved in commercial activities that can generate cash on a daily basis.
Mm-hmm.
Visibility also is critical. But how we can ensure visibility? We need to deploy branding materials, and branding materials are expensive, we know, but it's necessary if we want to make the point of services visible. And I think for Ben sometimes it could be challenging, but it's something to do if we want to achieve this objective. And I want to finish on the point that banks are indirectly competed by mobile network operators who have more resources. So banks should leverage on their strength. And one of the points that could be leveraged on by banks is the capacity to provide loan to the agent. So I think that the bank capacity to provide credit is a big strength, and it should be taken into account in the agency banking strategy. And high quality agents should be offered some facilities. And I think that is something that could allow banks to be more aggressive, I think, on the ground in terms of recruitment of agents. So I can see basically that are the lessons we learned from the ground. I want to share with you.
Thank you, Jamilino. So in summary, we need good, strong platform for agency banking. We need visibility to push the service. We also need to have a good value proposition for the agents and a dedicated team, as it's a new activity for the bank.
Exactly.
Wilfried, anything else you want to add before we give the floor to the participant?
No, I think Jamilino covered it very well. One additional thing I'll add is the customer experience. It has to be very, very clear. What are the expectations of a customer who visits an agent, and whether we are equipped to make sure that experience is good so that they can come back and use the service more and more. One of the things that we did, and Jamali also mentioned, is the new partnership that we signed with the telco MNOs. With Move is fully operational, where you can move from your mobile wallet to your bank account very easily and smoothly, and do value-added. We have more value-added services to it, so that attracts more customers to use the agency banking service. That's what I can add. Thanks.
Thank you, Wilfried. I can see that Ronk Wilson from Ecobank Group, Ronke from Ecobank Group is online. Maybe would you like to say something on this work before we get to the question session, the Q&A sessions?
Thanks, Sabine. Yes, I managed to sign on. I'm wondering why am I getting feedback? Just a minute.
Okay.
I seem to be getting an echo.
Yeah, there's an
Can
echo.
you hear me? there's an echo.
Yeah.
Let me try to fix that because that would be.
Okay, so we take questions and then we'll get back to you. Any question from you guys? Just activate your microphone and then you ask questions, please. We have maybe 20 minutes for this session.
Hello, Maxime Locosi.
Hi, Maxime, from which organization are you?
Yes, I'm actually consultant, Locosi Digital Consulting. This is in Benin.
Okay, go ahead.
Thank you very much to you, Barry, and thank you to the two speakers. I do have two questions for Wilfried. My first question is about the liquidity management, because as you have exposed, the number of agents of Ecobank is around 800, while I read in a report of the mixed market. This is actually a report for the microfinance institution, and the report that MTN has an agent network of around 16,000 agents. So my question is, how do you manage the liquidity in the rural area, especially in the places where you do not have branches? And how do you compete with MTN, which has a more extending agent network? And my second question is about your mobile app. We know that in terms of technology, Ecobank is in a certain way really in advance compared to the regulation. So how do you manage to comply, to show to the regulator that your application comply in terms of fair pricing of your operation, transparency in terms of the production of reporting, and also in terms of the data collected from the customer. How do you manage to protect those data? So those are my two questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Maxime. We'll take another question. Or we can start, maybe we answer and then take up the question. We have Wilfried, maybe we have question on liquidity management and mobile app.
Yes, I got two questions from Maxime. Thank you, Maxime, for the questions. In the pilot phase, the majority of our agents are not in the rural areas. Our strategy was to make sure that where we have agents located closer to our branches, and where we do not have branches, we did have those challenges of liquidity. And hence, that's why we push for the partnership with the telcos. And we managed to do that with Move, where you can actually get money from your wallet to your bank account and vice versa. So those agents who are in the remote areas, they are also Move's agents, as they are able to have the liquidity provided by Move to serve the customers. So that's what we are doing now, and we are also about to launch with MTN the same service, the bank to wallet and wallet to bank, and that helps merchants to automatically upload their accounts if they do have the cash, and to get cash from the MNOs if they need the cash to give it to the customer who visit the express point. Regarding the mobile app, I mean, you have so many questions, so I don't know which one. I mean, I didn't get all of it, except the one regarding data protection. I would like you to rephrase the question a little, because I didn't hear you clearly. You just say that our mobile app, we are ahead in Benin in terms of digitalization. We do have a lot of subscribers of our mobile app. Currently, we have over 400, pushing 500 download of the app. We have significant users now because the number of users are increasing. In terms of data protection, when you download the app and you are not an existing customer, we have a very light KYC, which means that you just give your name and your phone number and tell us which type of ID you are using. But you are limited to do up to 200,000 franc worth of transaction and balance on your Express account at any given time. But what we do is we protect our customers' data, because if you are a customer of Ecobank, whether it's from the mobile app or a normal customer coming to a branch, we do keep all those information in a secure manner, and we do not share with any other third party. Right? What is important is that the mobile app, the Express account, you get it from your mobile phone. So the telco also have your data. And at the moment, we are not sharing the same base of the data from the telcos. We keep our own KYC. In the future, we are thinking about making sure that we can actually go and get the KYC that is done by the telco to compare with what we have, to be able to identify and secure the data we have on the customers. I don't know whether I answer your question, Maxime.
Yeah, thank you, Wilfried. Yes, I think that I got some element of responses to my question, which actually was to know how do you manage to comply with the regulation? How do you ensure the regulator that data protection is respected? How pricing that is displayed in your agent, the grid of price, are they respected in the system? So I think that from your response, I get some element to my concern.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other question or comments?
Please, Barry, if maybe I will wait if there is another participant who want to ask a question. If not, may I come again?
Yeah. Still Maxime? Yeah.
Yes, I'm just waiting for another participant. If there is no other participant, if you allow me, I can come again.
Yes, go ahead. Maxime, you can ask your question. And as many questions as you want.
Okay. Thank you very much. So, still concerning the partnership, the pricing, because the liquidity management, because we just said that in the rural areas where Ecobank does not have some branches, there is a partnership with some mobile network operator. Those partnerships, my concern is about the pricing. When the mobile network operator understands that you need to use its platform to serve another client, it may affect the pricing of the service. How do you manage this partnership so that it does not affect the pricing and so that the service becomes too expensive for the final customer?
It's for Ecobank. Did you get the
question? Okay. Can I answer or wait for another question?
Yes, you can go ahead.
You can go ahead.
Okay. So you're worried about the pricing. The price is quite transparent because when the agent signed the contract, there is a share of commission. On the top of my head, we have a 1% share of the commission where we give more to the agent than what Ecobank keep. But how do we operate that? When you do a transfer within the network operator's network, you pay nothing. Okay. When you do transaction within Ecobank, you pay nothing. But when you do a transaction from the network operators to Ecobank, then there's a fee to pay, and that the tarification is, the price is clear and displayed in every unit where we have an express point. So that tarification applies to all transactions, and the amount of transaction, I mean, of transfer that you're going to do, you know beforehand that you're going to pay. So when we use our network operators agent for cash out, if the customer does not have, if the agent doesn't have cash, he has cash from his network operators firm, but he does not pay for that, so we don't charge the customer for that. But then we charge the customer for sending money to the network operators, which has its own charges. I don't know whether you are following me. The same, if a customer does not have a bank account, he receives the money, he's not paying for receiving the money from somewhere else. So he can go and pay the normal cash out fees that you pay if you go to any, whether it's in Benin, we have 2 operators, so it's easy to move from one to the other. They have the pricing, and you pay for withdrawing the amount that's been sent to you. The person who sent you the money can pay if the money moves from Ecobank to his wallet, or he can also send money straight from his account to you. So either way, you only pay, the end customer will only pay for cashing out money out of the system. And that's where we think that the pricing is fair. We recently have the regulator coming to audit our agency banking, and they did check in the system whether the pricing reflects what is actually paid, because they did do some transactions themselves to see. So in terms of pricing, I think it's quite clear and transparent at the moment. Whether it's expensive depending on the behavior of the customer, but the pricing are clear and you know what to do. And we try also to educate our customers that moving money from one wallet to the other, moving from operator to operators, can only cost you more. But if you stay with one, it will cost you less.
Thank you very much, Wilfried. I still have one question. Do you intend, since today your platform is powered by, is not a USSD platform, and you know that the smartphone penetration is very low here in Benin. I don't know if you intend to, if you have in your plan at Ecobank to extend your services so that you can give a USSD access to your customer, so that I will say the smallholder will be able to access your service.
Yes, we are very advanced on that. Actually, we've moved. You can do the USSD is available from wallet to bank, so you can send money using USSD to your bank account or to any bank account in Ecobank. We have well advanced with MTN also to have our USSD, and we also want to have the USSD for the mobile app for Ecobank. So we are well advanced, and at any given time now, we should be able to launch the USSD service. But it's currently on move wallet to bank, USSD.
Okay. Thank you. I think we'll maybe stop here because you have another session in a few minutes, in French session. Before just closing conclusion, I'd like to give the floor to Ronke.
Yeah, thanks, Sabine. I think we've been able to resolve the echo. It just turned out that we were signed in 2 places. Yes, and thank you for this opportunity. What I just wanted to add as just to show the improved on our current app. We have a new version of the app which we call 2.0, which is out now, that allows for additional services to be done at agent location. We also have a web version even for agents as well. That Ecobank is really committed to financial inclusion and to spreading the opportunity for customers to be able to transact, and not just customers, for opportunities for women, for rural, for youth, to be able to have capacity to have access to finance. Because apart from the additional services that we have in terms of whether you can do bill payment or you can do a time top up, we're also working on micro savings and loans. So there's a huge banking opportunity that Ecobank has put out there, and agency banking is a key facilitator for us to be able to, make sure that everyone has access to banking. And this opportunity with UNCDF it's very important for us to develop our agency banking and to move it to the next level. Thanks, Sabine.
Thank you.
Actually, I have two of my colleagues here. Let me just say that I have two of my colleagues here, the head of agency banking for Ghana, and my colleague Kelly, who is in charge of our marketing for agency banking.
Okay.
In this webinar.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
I don't know if I can be heard. So, Hannah here from Amarante. If I just...
It's hard to hear.
Can you hear me?
Is it Sahana talking?
Well, I can hear you quite clearly, actually.
Yes.
We can't hear anything.
Sahana?
Yes, no, I just wanted to say a few words in terms of
Sahana, we can't hear you.
of the whole agency. Give just a few comments to what Ronke said and the effort that being put together with this project. We have a lot of markets in Africa, especially in East Africa, where this type of agency banking led by banks are very rampant. And it's definitely not easy to do such a model, and we've learned today there's a lot of challenges, a lot of lessons learned, but really commendable to do such an exercise when, of course, people and customers are very used to doing, the classic bill payment kind of use cases, using networks that are usually not, led by banks or proposing credit and savings. And so I think this being a first for the region is quite interesting, and I'm sure that this kind of effort will lead other banks as well to get into this space and try to see how banking services, especially savings and credit, can be offered through this kind of access points. So I just wanted to say thank you for Ronke and to Sabine as well for putting this opportunity together and helping us, because as a technical assistance firm, the success of the project is absolutely lying with the service provider, and we're there just to support. So we've really, learned a lot from this project and looking forward to more in the region.
Thank you, Sahana. And Sabine?
Thank you very much to all the participants, and obviously thank you to Ecobank for the partnership that has allowed us to carry this project forward, and thank you also to Amarante for your technical support in this project. As from my standpoint, I think there are 2 points that I want to highlight. One is really advocacy with regulators in West Africa, particularly because we know that the agency banking is rather constraining for banks and quite existent for microfinance institutions. So I'm hoping that by seeing leaders such as Ecobank who've taken on agency banking and are deploying it in Benin and in other countries, it would actually help in this advocacy with the regulator to look at improving the agency banking framework in West Africa, particularly in the West African Economic and Monetary Union. And my second point is that I'm also hoping that an example of this project would be an inspiration to other banks and financial institutions to venture into agency banking, because at the core, we will all be together able to fast track financial inclusion of population who've not been banked in the past. And this channel also offered a great opportunity to the bank to serve two customers: the end customer who's not banked today, and the small, medium enterprises, the intermediaries, the agents, who are also key customers and where banks could provide these transformational services to the end customer and to SMEs and contribute to a double goal of financial inclusion, but also improving SME financing within our region. So thank you again to all of you, and hope we will be able to carry on and continue more of these projects with banks and other financial institutions in agency banking. It is noteworthy to say that this is the first agency banking project that we see a bank taking on in the West African Economic and Monetary Union. So kudos to Ecobank for leading the way.
Thank you very much, Sabine. Thank you for to all the participants. Just maybe we'll share the presentation just after the call, and then for your information, in few days we'll publish a complete case study on this project, and there's already a blog on our website on the results. So we'll share all this with you. Hope that you enjoyed the session, and if you have any other question, please, you can send it by email. Thank you so much for joining. And there's a French session for those who join later. There's a French session in few minutes.
Okay, and just before we close, and obviously I can't close this call without also thanking the UNCDF core team who's made this project possible: Jamelino Akobeto, our DFS expert; Georges Paco, our DFS expert in training, right? And obviously Barry Kanji, our KM specialist, and Andrea Badeko, our program assistant, and Madinatu Aunu, who is also based here in Benin. So thank you to all of you for wonderful work and a great team to work with. All right.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.